everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tatter-a-fact here at the Girlz Inc. studio in Las Vegas. And today I have a Girlz Inc. artist joining us, Ren Taylor. Welcome, Ren.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hey, Taryn.
Yeah. First time on the podcast?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. Happy to have you. A little nervous?
A little bit. I've never been in front of a camera before.
No?
No. And you'll even see on my Instagram, like I barely even have any pictures of me. I'm strictly, here's my art, here's how I do my brows, but don't look at my face.
Why? You're cute as hell.
Thanks.
Do you have issues with like some people look in the mirror and they don't see realistically what's looking back at them? They don't see something attractive. I know we're getting heavy. We're jumping into this.
We're jumping right into this. It's going to be a very good podcast
Yeah,
today.
but you're an open and transparent person.
Yeah.
So is that it? Because I think this is the first time I've heard you say that you really don't like to be on camera. Is it because you don't like what you look like? I guess that's what I'm telling you. Insecure about what you look like?
Not too much insecurity. I'm just more of a very introverted person.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of artists will struggle with this as well once they kind of get more into showing their portfolio, getting a little bit bigger online, getting bigger clientele. It's really hard having that boundary of, you walk into a grocery store, somebody might know who you are, and you're in your jacket and sweatpants. You don't have that full face that I do every day. That personality isn't there because I'm not clocked in,
Yeah. Happens to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was at the grocery store not too long ago, and I hear, "Oh, that's my eyebrow lady." I was at Trader Joe's. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, God. One time we were in Dillard's. And I saw my client, and I go ducking behind the rack of clothes. And what is it? We don't want, I had this talk with Mary Richardson, that's why she wears the bun. When she's always in a bun. So her clients always see her in a bun. So when she goes out shopping, she takes the bun down and you barely recognize her.
Yeah.
But she says it's great camouflage. So there's something about us artists that we really don't want to be recognized. We don't want to run into clients when we're out on our personal time.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe because we've just worked a really hard week and, we want our weekends to be our weekends. So you don't want to have, I get it. I totally get it. But I'm glad you wanted to do the podcast today. I think we have a lot of really interesting things to talk about. So you've been doing PMU for 5 years, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
5 years.
Right.
It's been a hell of a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's been the most hellish part of your journey?
I think the really awkward transition into being a contractor on my own at 19 years old.
Okay.
And I basically matured becoming an artist.
So you became a PMU artist right out of high school?
Right out of high school.
So that's super young.
Yeah.
Yeah, super young.
I was more of a weird kid in high school. I was always an artist. I always had a pencil to paper. And even before I even knew that the permanent makeup industry existed, I would be drawing eyebrows on the corner of my papers every time I'd be doing notes. And I didn't even know it. I was doing microblading strokes or I was doing something. But I always really had art in my heart. And when I got out of high school, I didn't have too much socialization. I was always really shy with my first couple instructors that I had, and they probably hated me just because I was in the back and I didn't really ask too much, but I retained.
Yeah.
And I really had my character development with this industry and getting my clients and starting to meet people. And now I've actually gotten out of my awkward phase.
Yeah.
But, the journey of that was really weird.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. I think for me a little bit, maybe not to the level it was for you, because before I became a PMU artist, I was a cocktail waitress on the Strip.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I was for many years, and that you develop your people skills, your social skills, and you're dealing with lots of people every hour, for Pete's sake, personalities and whatnot. So I think that prepared me to be comfortable with clients right out of the gate in my PMU career. But so how did a high school student get turned on to PMU? How did you discover PMU at such a young age and know that you wanted to do it?
Well, I discovered permanent makeup in 2016. I believe that was the first year that I ever knew that it was really a thing. Because I knew that, there was the old 80s style tattoo shops, like kind of where the McDonald's arch is.
Yeah.
And I've seen plenty of women like that. But I didn't really recognize it was as much of a craft as it actually is until I was about a sophomore in high school. And I gladly found it as a craft and not before the era around 2018, 2019, where it started being advertised as make six figures your first year,
The multi-marketing kind of.
It's almost like it got
scheming.
treated as an MLM now.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying that. And a lot of people are really angry about that.
I am too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think the best advice I can give, like a young artist like yourself, there's going to be lots of things that upset you and anger you, and because you are an artist and you fall in love with the craft, you consider it a craft, you become protective of it.
Right.
Many of us, we didn't get into this for the money. I don't think you got into it because, you want to make a living, of course, doing something you love. Right. And with your God-given skills, which is art, design, creativity. I was very much like that as well from childhood. But you certainly don't get into it with six figures in your mind, or that you're going to get rich quick, or any of that crap. You get into it just like, this looks like fun. I think I could do this the rest of my life and be happy. And and I hope I can make some money at it. I hope I can at least pay my bills and make a living at it. And if I can, I'm going to be so happy, right? But nowadays, like you said, it's being marketed as a six-figure income, the lure, the carrot, right, to get people to come take these trainings.
I think it's absolutely hilarious. You see some of these trainers and, just no offense, a lot of these people are incredibly talented and they are crafters themselves.
Right.
But it's funny when you see some of their stuff and then you swipe to the next thing on their Instagram carousels, and then it's like a chart. And it says, if you take 3 clients, you can make this, or, that should be the last thing that you have to worry about for the first 5 years.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. 100%. So you got into PMU right out of high school and did an apprenticeship. And because here in Vegas, you have to do a 6-month apprenticeship.
I actually did a 12-month.
You did a 12-month.
I was originally doing 6 months, but I got to be honest, I started getting a little in over my head in perfectionist mode. And right before I was about to take my first client, I kind of backed out a little bit. I said, I think I'm going to practice a little bit more.
Yeah. So you got in your head a little bit.
And, I actually think that was probably the best thing.
Yeah.
Because I had 2 really bad trainings, the first 2 certificates that I got, and I self-taught myself just about everything. And then so I did about 8 months of self-teaching myself, just on latex. And there's so much free education, on YouTube or Instagram. Right. And once you start getting that eye and start understanding everything, it all just really starts clicking to you. And so I started practicing with iron and carbon and just seeing the different ways how to implant. And then I took my first client. And then when I started, gaining a little bit of clientele, word of mouth, free work, eventually I saved up and got a really good training. And that training just completely saved me.
Yeah. Well, I think every decision you've made thus far has been the right decision, because look at you now. Maybe there's a lot of people listening that don't know who you are yet, but this, after listening to you, they're going to get a little curious and they'll go check out your Instagram, and then they're going to see who you are, who Ren Taylor is. And in my opinion, Ren, you're one of the best ombre artists out there by far in the industry.
Thank you.
Yes, no, 100%. And I'm not just saying that.
Thanks.
I've told you that before. I don't know if I've quite worded it like that, but I've told you you're really talented. I think during your interview, before people come for interviews, You know, Kat and I get on their Instagrams. We really watch. I want to see how, not just if their work is good, which yours was really good. It really impressed me. And so I wanted to interview you. And, but I also want to see how their other posts, how are they posting? How are they engaging? Are they nice? Are they kind? Are they, you know, I want a full picture. It's one thing to have someone talented, but I also want someone really talented, nice, cool, generous, you know, that certain vibe that I'm looking for and that fits in here, you know, at Girlz Inc. So I think every decision you've made thus far has been the right one, because here you are.
Girlz Inc. was my best decision.
Girlz Inc. was your best decision?
Yeah.